Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
Hot town, summer in the city, look open, they got it so pretty. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Hot outside. I don't know what this. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm making up words and I'm not singing, I'm just screaming. It is Monday, and it is a special day today on the Daily Grind. Well, I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. I guess I should say that first. This is a special day because in math, how many hours? Oh, I had this planned out before this morning. 7.5. No, God. I did this morning. We're 8, 9. Man, my dog found another squeaky toy. We are close to free agency. It happens at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time this evening. 9.5 hours. There, I did it really quick. We're 9.5 hours away from free agency officially beginning. And I'm very excited. It seems like it might just be a free agency for hoop heads, where it's like a lot of just like mid-level exception guys are going signing. But I digress. I'm just excited to talk about today. And I'm excited to talk with you, with my guy Rusty. I'm really excited. I tried to get Buckets in here, or Uncle Buck in here with us today, but he's dodging us. He's scared of us. So I got one of the two Bucks. I got Rusty with me. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. You know, it's a good weekend. I took the time, since I'm not working, to learn sign language because I think it'll come in handy. Welcome to the Daily Grind on your Monday morning. I'm happy to be here talking NBA free agency. It's already popping off, and a lot more to come.
Yeah, man. And I was listening to some stuff this morning. Do you remember this? Like, and it seems wild. It was like 10 years ago when Timothy Mozgov was getting like remember that summer where the Evan Turners of the world and the Timothy Mozgovs were getting like 3 years, $80 million? We are far away from that. We're going to start with the Grizzlies because they've already made a couple moves. Some of these moves, I think, have kind of predicted what might come next. The first move I want to talk about, and this wasn't even a free agent move. It was a photo of the draft class. Yeah. This was really, Javon Small, who the Grizzlies drafted out of West Virginia, he is going to be wearing number 10. It was announced. For those who don't catch many details, Luke Kennard has previously worn number 10 for his entire tenure here at Memphis. Yeah. Highly doubt he changes his number. For me, this is just like he's a free agent. I think he's gone.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. I hate that we didn't turn him into something that we could have used, but he fooled us, right? You know, he had that run in January where he got hot and was scoring a bunch, and then he secured the bag for the rest of the year and was like, all right, cool, I'm just going to take the rest of the season off. And so happy trails. Glad to see Luke moving on to greener pastures. I hope he lands on his feet somewhere not in Memphis. I wanted Luke Kennard to work, and I wanted to like Luke Kennard because the theory of Luke Kennard as the greatest three-point percentage shooter of all time in the history of NBA is like, who wouldn't want that on their team? But instead, I got the hollow shell of Luke Kennard, who just comes out there and toys with your emotion and thinks he's a point guard.
Yeah, man, it's like tell me you're moving on from Kennard without telling me you're moving on.
And Wayno's right. Since Luke Kennard wouldn't take a shot, neither should we.
Yep, and it's so accurate, and it's. You know, we wanted to be right about Luke Kennard so bad. I don't like to pat myself on. One of the best pieces I have ever written was talking about how Luke Kennard could be a sixth man of the year, and coulda, woulda, shoulda.
It's the same with another free agent. I'm sure we're going to talk about here in a little bit, but like DeAndre Ayton could be, X, Y, and Z. Paul George could be X, Y, and Z, but the NBA world is full of careers that have derailed by the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
I love that. Will the real Luke please stand up? I'd be happy to.
He's taller than you think he is. I'll say that. Luke Hatmaker is.
Thank you. I'm subtle tall. The I mean, we haven't seen sight or hair of Luke Kennard since this, and I don't expect we will, which is, it's fine. You know, I don't think many of us were expecting him to be on the roster next year.
No, again, thank you for your service. Happy trail. Best of luck wherever you're heading.
Yeah, I think we were all, I see in the comments, we were all kind of surprised that Kennard wasn't moved before this. He provides a skill set that every team needs, but maybe that's it. Maybe every other team has been like, hey, we've seen this cat not be consistent with the ball.
And that's what he did in with the Clippers, and every stop he goes to, he shoots the lights out, but as time progresses, he slowly shoots less, and then we were able to get that same Luke Kennard. And so, yeah, it would have been nice. Mike, Mikos in the comments here, I hate that they're showing username and not real names.
It really confused me.
Yeah. It would have been nice to move that up, because when he signed that, I told y'all in the group chat, like, this is the perfect tradable contract, and Uncle Buck got salty at me because I was already trying to trade Luke Kennard, but it was the perfect expiring $11 million deal, and all he did was once again break our hearts by going on a heater at the end of January, making himself look like, oh, the Luke of old is coming back, where he's going to help us in the playoffs, only for him to lay a nothing burger the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his entire career, it's hard, man, for someone who is like one of the best three-point shooters to ever play the game. You go and you look at his basketball reference, and you're like, man, this is all over the place. It's a bummer. A lot of potential there that never. I mean, Wayno preaches it from the mountaintops about how potential is such a dangerous word. Yep. Such was the case with Luke Kennard. The other big free agency move that the Grizzlies have made, which was the big. Other than the Jaren Jackson Jr. extension, which we all know they are working seemingly nonstop to move what they can to make that work. The other move that happened, and I believe this was yesterday. Yesterday was the deadline for all the teams to make decisions on their own impending free agents. The Memphis Grizzlies tendered, I want to make sure, they tendered, here we go. They tendered Santi Aldama's 1-year, $5.94 million qualifying offer, making him a restricted free agent. What does this mean? This means that any offer sheet that he signs, the Grizzlies get to match anything. And this also makes it easier to sign and trade him. This was I guess this was the obvious step. I mean, we lowballed him for sure. This is very, lowballed.
This is purely accounting. Purely, you have to extend a qualifying offer in order to make him a restricted free agent and essentially get the bird rights. And so now we have the ability that we didn't have yesterday morning to be able to match any qualifying offer that he gets. Now, somebody is going to offer Santi Aldama a bag.
Yep.
And I would only want him to come back again. Like, Santi is better. We've got some stats to prove it, but Santi is better than you think. His progression and his improvement over the last couple seasons has been pretty stark.
Let's go ahead and throw that up. Let's throw it up.
Yeah, I don't want to overpay for a guy who is a defensive nightmare and a no-show in the playoffs. But if what you're looking at here is a Darko progression, and it factors in several different metrics, not just talent or size. And so if you look on here, you've got a green line, Cam Johnson, who we've been asking for a long time. An orange of Laz Reed, red is Trey Murphy, and blue down here at the bottom is one Santi Aldama. And as you can see, they've all kind of have their ebbs and flows. But if you look at Santi, he has been consistently getting better. Now, there's going to be some outliers. There's some blue dots at the top. There's some really bad blue dots at the bottom. But Santi's progression over the course of his career has been really good. And is he perfect? No. There are very few perfect NBA players. But a 7-footer who can dribble and provide some rebounding and some three-point shooting. Again, when Santi goes on a heater, man, he could get you 21, 24 points pretty quickly. He's the guy that I would be interested in bringing back on a team-friendly deal. But if somebody like Brooklyn or New Orleans throws, Detroit, 2 years 40, Detroit, 2 years, $40 million at him, Luke, I'm out.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I have no doubt that he's going to command the full mid-level by somebody, and I'm okay with matching that. I mean, that's what, $14 million?
$14 million.
You sent me this, though, man, and this impressed me more than – I mean, I like Santi. I've always liked Santi. But this graphic here, it
gives you some math as to why.
Yeah, and Cam Johnson and Naz Reid, man, these are guys – Naz Reid is a perennial 6th Man of the Year candidate. Trey Murphy and Cam Johnson are two guys that Grizzlies fans have been clamoring to get on the squad since and Yeah, he may have started lower than some of these guys, but like the trajectory for the most part has been, like you said, it's been up his entire career.
This kind of tells you the story of how a player is progressing more than just a box score, because we know Santi's not a great box score, like a stat sheet filler at times. Yes, he is again a matador, right? Shout out to the Spaniards. He is a matador on defense. But based on the Darko progression, he could be set up to have a better season next year than any of the other three on this chart based on his progression, the things that he's been showing, the improvements that he has made. The metrics are backing up a Santi Aldama leap year next year, which we saw some this year. We had better Santi this year more than we had bad Santi, and you was still very inconsistent and streaky. But I'm just telling you, if Memphis can get him on a team-friendly deal, Wayno, you may have to make a welcome back Santi cake and not a goodbye Santi cake, as you were talking about earlier.
Like welcome back Cotter, but with Santi. You know, like I want to save that graph and put it behind me. That way, anybody says shit about Santi, I can just pop.
Don't make me like the Simpsons. Don't make me tap the sign.
This,
and let me ask you this, Luke. So you brought up the great point about the 14 mil. It's a good thought exercise. For $14 million, you have two players that are going to be commanding around that. Let's just say, obviously, Santi's going to command more, but you have a choice. You've got Ty Jerome coming in from Cleveland as a sharpshooter who can go streaky at $14 million, or you can re-sign Santi Aldama. Let's say it's just for argument's sake. The math is there. Would you rather have Ty Jerome at $14 million or Santi Aldama at $14 million?
Oh man, I love this question, and I love that we are psychopathically. That's the wrong word. Telepathically linked. Psychopathically, that's different. We are telepathically linked because I was about to bring up Ty Jerome. I really like Ty Jerome. You're talking about. I'd be interested to see Ty Jerome's Darko.
And Luke is out. He's been having some computer issues with his mouse. If he hits one button, it completely removes him off the screen. I like Ty Jerome. We're gonna get Luke back here in just a second. I personally like Ty Jerome. Welcome back.
I'm talking about Ty Jerome, apparently. So I said Ty Jerome, and my computer was like, "Get the hell out of here." I like Ty Jerome. I don't get kicked out again. I'm
touch your mouse.
I just got done talking about how much I liked Santi, and then I brought up Ty. I would pick for $14 million. I would rather pay Ty Jerome than Santi Aldama.
See, I'm the opposite, man. Ty Jerome was such a nothing burger in the playoffs. And so was Santi. Don't get me wrong, but a 7-foot 3-point threat who rebounds at a high clip. You know, we all give Jaren hell because he doesn't rebound. Santi rebounds. Versus a 6'5" guard who can shoot. Maggie and I have sat about 9 rows behind the goal at the Cavs game where we saw the Cavalanche in full effect in Memphis, and Ty Jerome was a huge part of that. Donovan also had like 38 that night, but I saw Ty Jerome up close in person on the heater that he can go on, but that dude does not play a lick of defense. At least Santi tries. Like Santi tries to get in the right way every once in a while and draw a foul or whatever here and there. Or be called for a foul. But Ty Jerome just doesn't, like, he is a true 3-point specialist. And forgive me if I'm a little bit nervous about bringing in another true 3-point specialist of a lighter complexion that just is promising me the world. He's going to go shoot 40% from 3. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit burned by Luke Kennard, that I think I would rather pay Santi Aldama that money and keep a 7-footer who can shoot threes and rebound.
Can I offer a third option? Because there is one other person that I really want to spend that if I had to spend that $14 million tax, and the Grizzlies' names have been floated around. I like Naw. I would pick. Oh yeah. Like if I had to pick between those three, but at this point, I imagine Naw is going to get paid.
Somebody's going to overpay for him, and Naw is interesting because he's great defensively. He can shoot. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Nickeil Alexander-Walker from Minnesota. But then you also kind of got, like, he's one of those guys to me, Luke, that makes me a little bit nervous. Is he a system guy? Did he flourish in Minnesota because he had the right pieces around him? And is he going to be able to carry that somewhere? Now, again, of the three, I think it's Naw, Santi, Ty Jerome is the order that I'd put him in of who I would want to sign. Because, again, the defensive effort is there. He's a dog. He's a guy that fits the archetype of what Zach Kleiman's want to build this team with. I'm afraid we're going to get outbid. I just don't know that somebody's going to offer him in the, like, he's probably a $14, $15 million type player, but somebody's going to get in the neighborhood of 18 to 20, much like they're going to do with Santi. And I'm afraid we miss out on the NOS sweepstakes. Santi, I think, would at least come back on a hometown discount because of what because it's Memphis. I think he fits Tomas's system. I think Tomas has got a big role for him in this system that I think we'd at least get a hometown discount from Santi that we wouldn't get from NOS.
From any of these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've not been as excited about the mid-level exception in such a long time. For Memphis in particular.
Mm-hmm. It's just, will we use it, right? Like,
will we use it? Yeah.
Because the way our tax shelves are structured, Roweno, get out of here. I will have a complete come apart. I will boycott the team if we sign Chris Paul. Let's just put it that way. I won't completely, but I'll put a little piece of paper over my Grizz head back there. So the way we are positioned in the tax structure, like, we could use the MLE, we could use the vet man. We've got up to that $14 million that we could use. But it all depends on what we're going to do with Jaren. You know, it came out like we're trying to move Cole Anthony this weekend. We're calling and seeing about suitors for Cole Anthony and what that's going to look like. But our obvious number one priority is extending Jaren. And so I think what we do over the next, say, 6 to 7 days is going to tell us a lot. If we don't re-sign Jaren this summer, then the MLE is very much in play that we've never really used before, but we could go use for, again, a Null, a Santi, somebody in that kind of that range. But if we re-sign Jaren, then I don't think that we will be able to use the MLE this year because of the way we restructure his contract. And so it's just Monday. It's June 30th. Like, free agency starts at 5 p.m.
Not started yet.
Yeah, and it's already shaping up. It was a wild weekend. This week is going to be even wilder. So y'all buckle up, sit tight. In Kleiman we trust. It's a process. These trades are complicated. The Portland trade isn't even fully completed yet. That can be built upon. So just sit tight, drink your coffee, and take a deep breath.
That's a good point, man. As we head into a break, remember to drink your coffee and be calm, because the complexity of a lot of this stuff. There you go. Get you an ounce of hope.
Get you an ounce of hope.
Get you an ounce.
Take the edge off.
You a professional. You are a professional. Man. Yeah. Oh, I got a new commercial. I'm gonna play commercial. I got a new one. I was surprised. Gonna play a quick commercial. When we get back, we're gonna just rapid fire hit some of these other stuff that happened, because we got a lot of deals that are trickling in and a lot of news that's happening. We're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderlin Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
At what point of your long time spending with Cedric did you realize you were coaching Michael Jordan? When did you realize? When did you realize you were coaching Michael Jordan?
Hey, he came into practice about a year and a half ago, and he had shaved his head completely, and the whole team was calling him Michael Jordan for about
real?
a week.
Really?
So you're not the first one right there. When I found out it was Memphis, I was so happy, because he fits that personality. He's not high maintenance. He's all about hoops. It doesn't matter what ball we're playing with, what gym we're in. Let's go do this. Let's go compete. And so I think kind of that mindset that Jalen, I'm assuming, probably brought to Memphis, where, you know, he's going to be grateful and he doesn't need much. He's going to go compete and just be a dog from the jump.
Check out the Anthony Sane Show live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
And we're back. Oh man, good stuff. Real quick aside. Well, shout out Ounce of Hope. Promo code Bluff City. Trilogy Tattoo. Anthony saying will be today. $2 today as well, right? Yeah.
$2 today. We also have another Drew. We have a special episode. Instead of Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis, you got Between Two Drews with Rusty Witten. So it's we have Drew Simler, who went viral in the NBA draft for being the Portland Trailblazers.
Portland guy?
Yeah, who thought they had drafted Cedric Coward. He had just an absolute gloat session, only to have his dreams crushed by his co-host. He joins us today. Do not miss. Great interview. He's a good sport and a big fan of Memphis. So how about that?
Man, I didn't know.
That's great. Y'all tune in.
That poor
awesome.
guy.
Yeah.
Real quick aside, hearing the Coach Riley, did I miss? Yeah, Coach.
Yeah, David Riley.
Talk about Cedric, man. I just love that kid. Every single thing I see, he loves to fish. I didn't think people under 25 knew what fishing was anymore.
Yeah,
and he likes. I don't know, and he bakes. I'm falling in love with that kid. I know you in our group message you were like, this kid, man. This kid.
The more he talks, the more I like him. Also, be on the lookout. $1.02 coming out today, talking about his shoulder injury and kind of where he's at and how that's progressing. I got a couple of questions. Shout out Chris Ingram and some guys over the weekend asking me, like, he's able to do 1 versus 0. Why can't he play basketball yet? And so we'll talk about it later today. Be on the lookout. Make sure you turn those notifications on here on YouTube or watch your X account if that's where you like to watch our shows. But make sure you're paying attention because it will drop later today.
Yeah, like and subscribe to that. I don't know diddly squat about. Well, I don't want to say the human body. That makes me sound dumb. I don't know much about anatomy. And so these videos help me tremendously. Get everybody ready. Real quick, before we get on the Mondays and lasagnas, we gotta just rapid fire. What are some deals that have already happened or have not happened that are interesting? Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Naz Reid? Naz Reid was the big one that I like
what Minnesota did, period.
Yeah. Them and Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What were those deals? The Naz Reid signed a
125 and Julius Randle's 3-year 100. So you got both of those guys buttoned up for under 250 million. 2 guys that are going to be were pivotal for your run this year. Will be those guys going forward. Like Drew said in the group chat, that's a lot for a backup center in Naz Reid. Look, I'm curious what this means for Rudy Gobert. They were actively shopping him for Kevin Durant. I think that continues this summer.
Yep. I think you were right. Minnesota signed their guys. This probably means Nah is gone. I literally don't think they have a way to keep him with their money situation. I don't have it in front of me, but I don't think it's possible. Kuminga got their they did their qualifying offer. The Warriors did. What were some of the other big ones? Bobby Portis signed a new contract. James Harden's probably going to re-sign with the Clippers. DeAndre Ayton's getting bought out.
Hang on, my AirPods, I think, just played out. 1 second.
Oh, no, you're good.
I lost you for a second.
I'm just going to keep talking.
This is what happens when you go live and things don't work.
Shoot, I got kicked out of the stream earlier.
I'm back. I can hear you.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Portis re-signed in Minnesota. You got Sam Merrill re-signing in Cleveland, which is interesting what Cleveland's going to do. There's some guy, Ty Jerome's obviously on the outs there. He's been linked to Memphis. I think kind of the big one. Yep. What do you think about LeBron James opting into his $52.6 million team option or player option, saying, look, I want to get paid. I'm going to get my money, but you have to build around me to make a championship team or I'm out. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I just don't. I mean, he doesn't have them by the balls anymore. And now they have Luka. They are like, they are in a situation where they don't have to, like a cow to these demands.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I just don't know why you would say that. That's my thing. I just have an issue with him saying it. Like,
never liked LeBron for that
Yeah.
reason. He's a prima donna. All he cares about is the LeBron brand, which again, I'm all for him. Pro, get your bag. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. And so it feels like, based on the posturing of him and his agent, like it feels like they're posturing for an exit with their statement yesterday about we want to thank the Jenny and the Lakers organization for the last 8 seasons, blah, blah, blah. It feels like he's trying to head out. Cleveland is a name that obviously it's going to come up a lot. Like, you do one last swan song in Cleveland, try and get him a championship. But I don't know of a team, a contender that's going to want to spend $53 million for a 41-year-old LeBron.
For 1 year. Like, you're not getting, I mean, like, he's not going to stay for more than a year, right? I mean, I don't know why he would. I mean, he might. I don't know.
All signs are pointing to him retiring. It's just interesting how he's handling it. Uncle Buck and Wayno are talking about one of the wildest trades of the weekend.
Yeah,
I think the Lonzo Ball, Isaac Okoro swap kind of makes sense. It fits for Cleveland. Like, I think that makes Cleveland a ton better. I love Lonzo Ball's fit on that team. What are your
makes
thoughts?
sense. But what is Chicago doing? We offered them a first and Marcus Smart.
What is Chicago doing? Traded off Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and somebody else, and all they've gotten back are 0 picks. Like, they've got no draft capital back. It's been just straight swaps for these guys. Again, it is a masterclass of franchise mismanagement on a Phoenix Suns level. Shout out to little brother Ben Garcia. But the Charlotte trade also makes me scratch my head, right? Because, like, for Charlotte, I love Colin Sexton's fit on that team. Him and Lonzo Ball are a two-headed monster of, LaMelo Ball and Colin Sexton, two-headed monster of athleticism. You got Colin Sexton, who is all gas, all intensity. You got Melo, who can run an offense and score. And I think that's a great two-headed monster in what's becoming like a pretty decent young core around Brandon Miller and Liam McNeely, who they got in the draft this year, Con Knipple, a couple sharpshooters that they got. I'm curious what Charlotte's going to look like next year because I think it's better than what we've seen. Yeah. But they've got to figure out some of their post situation because now all they got is Mark Williams, Mark Williams is gone. To the Centil, right? That he failed. They got to figure out their big situation, right? Because now you moved off of Nurkic, you moved off of Mark Williams. Like, what are they going to do for a post player? Is Colin Sexton going to be your post player? I don't think so. But then you look at Utah, who now has John Collins, Nurkic, Walker Kessler, Kyle Filipowski is technically like a 3-4. Like, he's a bit like what are they doing in Utah? Yeah. Like, what's happening in Utah? I know Wayno's a big fan of Danny Ainge, and he has a good GM that he thinks more is coming. Or has Danny Ainge kind of lost his touch in mind and just collecting all the bigs like Pokemon? That
would be awesome if Danny Ainge just had no idea what he was doing and he just literally trots out 5 bigs for opening night. I would love that. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Utah's doing. I'm like, I guess there's another move, but until that move happens, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't
know. What are there been anything else?
Ron Sharp is the name that's been linked to the Grizzlies. They declined his team option, but are trying to restructure. DFS is a free agent. I'm less inclined for DFS now, and I wasn't pro DFS at the trade deadline, and I'm even less so now. I think we've got, you want DFS, we have DFS at home in KCP, which would be like the most confusing thing ever. I think that I like Uncle Buck said on the $2 Sports Show, we had a pre-record yesterday. I would never be able to keep them separate, right? I would completely marvel them out, both of them. So of the two, I'd rather have KCP. I think he fits our identity, what we're doing, but it'll be interesting to see what he gets. And then Luke, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about one Malik Beasley.
I was about to do it too.
A $42 million deal in front of him, only to now be under investigation by the FBI. Brought to you by FanDuel. Code Luke Hatmaker for $10 off your first bet. Luke, in our FanDuel segment of the week, what are your thoughts on Malik Beasley getting in trouble for betting on NBA games?
Man, we had thoughts on Malik Beasley, like, heading into this, and it's like, oh man, you got the feds involved.
And a league that is heavy on sports betting now, brought to you by FanDuel and ESPN Bet and Caesar Sportsbook everywhere. Now you're going to go at Malik Beasley, and like he's never going to beat the allegations. I saw a video earlier this year where Minnesota they were playing Minnesota and they were down like 9 points, and somebody like hit a free throw to make the lead 9, and the over/under was 8.5. And he gets the inbound pass and sprints down with 5 seconds and hits a layup to put him down 7 to hit the under, like to go over, right? 8.5. Like it's just he's never going to beat the allegations. I'm curious what this is going to do, but what it did do is cost him $42 million. Guy has had 2 chances now in his career to make big money and fumbled both of them.
Man, and it's going to be interesting for Detroit because they were prepared to give him all that money, and now they are going to have that money to spend.
Santi Aldama or somebody.
Can I interest you in Santi Aldama?
I will do a sign and trade Santi Aldama for one Jay Navi. I like him in Memphis. That will never happen. They're clearly building around those dudes.
I was like, how dare you get me excited for that?
Yeah.
Man, Malik Beasley. It's ridiculous. Before we get out of here, it is Monday, and it is actually Monday. I know my days of the week now. Maybe it might change tomorrow. Mondays are for lasagna around here. What does that mean? It means Garfield the cat loves lasagna and he hates Mondays. I got it right. And I think it's important to recognize the good and the bad to fully appreciate your life. And so I will go first. My Monday, the thing I disliked from the weekend, man. So this is, I am in desperate need of maintaining the lawn and landscape surrounding my house. However, it has been hot, and not only has it been hot, but it's been that hot where it like thunderstorms for an hour and then it quits. So I can't actually, I've got like no time to mow. I've got like 20 minutes to mow if I want to do that. And at this point, excuse me, I'm getting choked up. My dogs go out there and they're like, Jesus, Dad, what? It's just, you don't want me to eat grass, but there's so much grass. And I'm just real. I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to say screw it and just let the grass grow until fall. So that's my Monday. My lasagna was, I'm in the middle of rehearsing a play. And so I had a rehearsal for that. And it's just fun. It's comedy. So I get to go. I'm duct taped to a chair, so I don't have to move a lot. And it's just fun. How about you?
Let's see. It was a good weekend. Honestly, it was low key. It's quiet. I'm going to start my Monday. My Monday is like you talk about knowing days of the week. I have no idea what day of the week it is because I'm on severance. I'm not working. Like every day is the weekend. I mean, I'm doing things, right? I'm studying. I'm in real estate school, working through that. I'm doing errands, going to the gym, that sort of stuff. But like yesterday, Luke, like there were 3 distinct times where I'm like, what fucking day it is? Like is it Tuesday? Like I have no idea. Like I'm sitting here thinking like, because Maggie worked all weekend. God bless her.
Oh, so you had no idea.
I had no clue. It could have been a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday. I got no clue because like she never works on Wednesdays.
But
she worked this weekend.
Wednesdays is.
Right. Like Wednesday's like the one day I know she never works. So I'm like, I know it's not Wednesday because Maggie's at work. And it's just like it is just doing a confusion on my brain that I'm having a hard time overcoming. And so I'm ready to get back into some routine and rhythm. I'm thankful for the $2 Sports Show. This show, I'm helping Anthony Sane this week with Kenny being out, so I'll have some structure to my week this week. I know what days are, but I'm just struggling knowing what days are. So that's my Monday.
Structure, dude. Real quick aside,
I need it, man.
When you were growing up, and your parents were like, "You're going to want structure," and you were like, "No," and then you grow up, and you're like, "You know what the best thing in the world is? Structure."
And having a routine, and so I'm getting back in like daily grind, gym. Real estate school, like I'm going to make it a thing. It's going to happen. My lasagna, again, it was just a really good weekend. I mean, Maggie worked, but we had some great date nights and spent some time together. Last night we were watching House of Dragons. Back into that, I watched a great documentary with her over the weekend. Cooked a mean steak yesterday.
Poop one, not the poop steak, but the poop documentary.
Poop cruise. I can't wait for Tubin Tuesday tomorrow. I got things to talk about on Tubin Tuesday, but. Just life is good, man. My lasagna is just everything's going really well right now, and riding some highs, coming up aces here in East Memphis. So life is good right now.
That's what Mondays are for. Lasagna. That's what Mondays are for. That's what the segment. The segment is for. That. God, why did I? Whoever came up with the show and came up with these segments, that dude needs to have his head examined, man. It still make no sense. That's gonna do it for our show today. We will be back tomorrow to talk. Hopefully, we'll talk about a bunch of free agency stuff. That's going to be kind of the big thing. We are going to keep talking about Hot Grass Summer because tomorrow's Tuesday. We're doing that on Tuesday. We're in the top 10. Today, $2 Sports Show. They're going to have Drew number 2. I'm very excited.
It's awesome. Like I'm telling you, great interview. Don't miss it. I know. Again, we had to pre-record. Drew's going out and doing some education for the Utes of Tippah County, the Utes. And don't miss it. It was a great interview with Drew Simler. Follow him on Twitter at Drew Simler. Him and his best friend co-host a podcast together, almost like me and Uncle Buck.
Yep.
But check him out on Twitter at Drew Simler on X.
Hell yeah. Check them out. Anthony Sane after that. Free agency after that. We'll be back tomorrow.
You'll see a familiar face on the Anthony Sane show today.
Yeah, you get a rusty Monday. I don't know. I'm done with my days of the week. We'll be back tomorrow. Everybody have a good day. And if we can leave you with 2 things like we always do, remember these 2 things. Remember to be a little weird, just a little bit. And remember to smile. Just smile. Bye, guys. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.